I've been a massive Sonic fan since 2015. I really got into the series by my mom's boyfriend. He even gave me Sonic's Ultimate Collection when I was younger on my PS3, and I played that one a lot, and I just started playing the games from there. And nothing really sparks my love for Sonic the Hedgehog. Not literally, figuratively speaking. Let's just move on. To celebrate Sonic's 35th anniversary, I decided to do a tier list of all the Sonic games I played, well, some of them, and see how they hold up today. And by the way, I only played a few Sonic games. There's not a lot I played, so there's gonna be some things that I'm gonna have to miss, and it might upset a lot of people. And I'm not ranking on this tier list by some of the fan games that people have touched on them. I'm looking at you, Angelo. Shout out to him, actually. He's a pretty cool guy. First up in our list is Sonic the Hedgehog. This is going B tier, honestly. Now, I know a lot of people are going to get upset over this. I'm looking at all of you. Just hear me out. Sonic the Hedgehog's been a friend for years. Been through good times, bad times, laughter, and tears. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. Wait, no, cut that. I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I think it's a great start of the fantastic franchise. I like Green Hill Zone. I think it's really cool. And that's just as far as I like from there. The level designs are not bad, per se, but they're definitely more focused on platforming more than speed. And my other complaint is just that there's just so many hazards. Like, so many. Labyrinth Zone is the one I come to think of. And I hate Labyrinth Zone with a passion. I cannot stand it. It goes same thing for Scrap Brain as well. I think it's what it's called. Where in Act 3, they pretty much do the same thing as the one in Labyrinth Zone. So, yeah. But other than that, this is a good start of a franchise. And I do like this game. I've beaten it several times. And, yeah, this is going on B tier. Next up is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This is an instant S for me. I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 improves on everything that Sonic 1 did. It added tails, it felt faster, and you got Super Sonic in this one. And I think the level design are just way better than it is in Sonic 1. And also the music here and the sprite work is fantastic. And honestly, it looks better than Sonic 1 in my personal opinion. So yeah, it's an instant S tier. Next up is Sonic CD. I honestly think I'm going to give it a low B tier. It's not a bad game. It's just kind of boring, honestly, in my opinion. Now, let me rephrase that. This is not boring. It's just that the levels are too massive. And sometimes the colors just pop out a little too much where I don't freaking see the enemies because the backgrounds, they just blend in. And to be honest, I think the bosses in the game are a little lackluster. But hey, at least Amy is introduced in this one, and Metal Sonic, which ends up being one of my favorite characters. So yeah, B tier. Next up is Sonic 3. Now, they set it off into 3 segments, but they're not really different, so I'm going to put them all in S tier. Sonic 3 is fantastic. I love Sonic 3. And it also improves from Sonic 2. And honestly, I like the sprite work for Sonic 3. He looks somewhat modern, and I can't put my finger as to why, but he just looks so good. And yeah, Knuckles is a cool inclusion as well. Now, I put both of these in the tier list because the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge is a lock. So you just lock both of the games in and you get Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which expands the game to have more levels and a proper end to it. But yeah, I enjoy this game a lot. I would say the special stages are not really my favorite, as they do tend to hurt my eyes sometimes. But other than that, it's an S tier for me. Next up is Sonic Adventure. This one's an A for me. Sonic Adventure is definitely a good game. I like the Sonic stages and all that stuff. I will say I am not a fan of Knuckles stages, and big the cat stage is. But other than that, it's a solid time. The story, though, can be a little weird and sometimes cringy. But for what it is at the time, it's alright. So yeah, I would give this an A tier. Next is Sonic Adventure 2. This might be lower than Sonic Adventure 1, honestly. I like Sonic Adventure 2. I think it's a fantastic follow-up to Sonic Adventure 1. The problem is the stages. There are barely any Sonic stages and Shadow stages to play through. Most of it is just through Tails' mech stages or Eggman's mech stages, and Knuckles and Rouge's treasure hunting stages, which, both of those stages, while Tails' and Eggman's mech stages are fine, Knuckles and Rouge's stages go on for way too long and it's tiring. But I would say the story though, I like personally a lot more than Adventure 1. So yeah, I definitely would put this in lower A, although I do think Sonic Adventure 2 is a much better game than Adventure 1. I honestly still prefer Adventure 1 more than 2. Here's one game that's just in this tier list for some reason. Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble. I never played it. Hey guys, this is Editing Austin here. I forgot that Sonic Triple Trouble was on the Sonic Origins Plus DLC, where they included all the Game Gear games on there, and I got to play it for an hour, and it goes below E. I didn't really like Triple Trouble. It's just that the screen crunch makes it really hard to see everything in front of you. I do like Sonic's model in the Game Gear. I don't know why, it just looks very charming in my opinion. But yeah, at moments I realized that the game runs pretty slow. And the bosses, from what I played, I didn't record the entire footage. I just recorded like a few minutes of it. The bosses were a little tedious. So yeah, it goes below E. Okay, Sonic Heroes. This is a C. I don't think it's like the worst game of all time, but I can definitely see where some people can say that this is not one of the greatest. And honestly, I think it's just because of how slippery these characters are. The controls are not the greatest. Like, they feel like they have butter underneath their shoes because of how much they slip around. And sometimes I would accidentally press a button and just launch me off the stage without even meaning to. There are definitely some frustrating moments in this game. And I would say my least favorite thing about this game is definitely the team mechanic. Well, I do think it's a cool idea to have Knuckles, the stronger one, and Tails to fly, and Sonic be the speed. It's just that all the other characters do the same thing in their own stories, and the stages are repeated, so the variety gets very tiring and boring. Like, I would appreciate it if they just mixed up some of the stages to make it different, but just playing the same ones in a row kind of makes it a bit of a stale game. And also, the special stages, I don't think are great. They're super wacky to control. But it is a cool introduction to the boost mechanic, which is only in the special stages, and it doesn't really do much better. But hey, it's here. It stays in C tier. Next, we got Shadow the Hedgehog. This one's a D. Now, honestly, I kind of do like Shadow the Hedgehog. I think his own game was definitely a neat idea. But the introduction of guns is, while cool, it doesn't really mean anything. They're just there, and the homing attack just works just fine. So you don't really need these guns, at all. And also, the slippery factor has returned in this one from Sonic Heroes, except I feel like it is way more slippery than Sonic Heroes was. And also, the fact that you have to beat this game 15 times, I think it was, it's just monotonous. Yeah, it does have some stage variety and stuff, but it kind of loses it when you have to beat the same stages twice just to get a different ending in that same one. And the ending, well, kind of cool. I don't really care for. I was just happy that it was freaking over. And also, saying damn a lot is something that I'd never seen happen in a Sonic game before. And never reached that potential again. So yeah, D tier. Alright, we got Sonic Advance 1. I'm very sorry, people, but I never played Sonic Advance 1 or 2. I just don't have those copies yet, but trust me, I will get them eventually, and maybe then I'll make an update video for this tier list. Well, Sonic Advance 3, though? I honestly think it's better than Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I really like Sonic Advance 3. Well, some people don't think this is like the most strongest sequel to the event series. I personally like this one a lot. It has a buddy mechanic, and I would say it's not really new. Like, it just feels like you just have that companion, but you can change it to different characters though. That's really it. But I do like it a lot. I like the stages in this one, so it's a solid B. Alright, now we're about to get to the meat of the potatoes with Sonic the Hedgehog, known as Sonic 06. E. I really do not like this game. I don't think it's the worst game ever made of all time. I just don't think it's good. The controls are so touchy and clunky at times. The loading screens are just monotonous. The story, well, it isn't bad. It's just kind of weird. Like, a freaking hedgehog is hanging out with a human lady. Like, what is this? And also, Eggman just looks weird. He's got wrinkles, and it just weirds me out just to see that. And also, the stages are horrible. But the most damning thing about this game are the glitches. They are so bad in this one. Like, it is monotonous. Well, yes, someone actually did work on Sonic 06 and made a PC port of it called Project 06 and actually fixed some things up. Like I said, I'm not going for fan games here, so I'm just going on by the original game, and it's awful. So yeah, it's a solid E.
It's no use!
Now we got Sonic Rush. Now, I don't know what happened, but I just somehow managed to lose my copies of Sonic Rush and Rush Adventure. I don't even know why, and don't even ask me how I lost them. I just did. Like, fairly recently. I don't know how I lost them. I just had them in my bag and they're just gone. But Sonic Rush, honestly think it's better than Adventure. I really do like the Rush series. It is definitely one of my favorite side series. I will say though that my only complaint about this game is the bottomless pits, especially in the last stage where you have to freaking be careful with platforming, just so you don't get into a bottomless pit and just freaking die. Also, the final boss for Blaze and Sonic is way too damn difficult, and the final boss, I don't like it. It's oddly difficult for some reason, and it's just boring. I don't like it. But other than that, I really like Sonic Rush. I think the stages are fine for the most part, and I like the inclusion of Blaze here, so A tier. Now we got Sonic Rush Adventure. This is easily on the top of Sonic Rush. Adventure is definitely one of my favorite ones of all time. I like the island that we can explore on. Well, the jet skis and the boats are not that great to begin with. I do like the jet ski part though, and they're really fun. And Sonic has a rival in the game where you have to go on a race with him just to get a Chaos Emerald, and that's it. You do go against him in the final boss against the robot pirate and his assistant. I can't remember both of their names. I'm sorry. And at the final ending, you fight Eggman and Eggman. I don't want to say the word. I just don't want to get in trouble. But the stages, though, oh my god, they're so much better. And honestly, the bosses are way more fun than it did in Sonic Rush. So this is a solid higher A. Next up is Sonic and the Sacred Rings. I freaking hate this game. I hate the motion controls in this game. They're so pointless. Like, we could have just had a thumbstick and it'd be fine. And because of that, Sonic controls like just the way he moves. It's just like, it's not great. He slugs a lot and he's so slow. And the thing is, that was intentional. There's a skill tree that you can use to make Sonic control better and go faster. So which tells me that they did it on purpose. Well, the story I really like in this one, and the storybook is pretty cool, and the bosses can be fun at times. It's just the gameplay that just really backs me up. And not to say that I 100% in this game, and it was the most frustrating time I've ever spent on a Sonic game, or in any game in general to be considered. So yeah, E. Next, we got Sonic and the Black Knight. Now, I'm going to upset some people, but it's honestly higher than Sonic Heroes. I like Black Knight more than Sonic and the Secret Rings. Well, this one is a better improvement because we actually got a thumbstick. And you can swing your rear remote to swing the sword. Now, that is the biggest complaint that people have. It's just that the sword play, it's too tiring. I found a way to cheese it by just jump dashing and swinging your sword at the same time. It's pretty much your own homing attack. And I honestly think it's because I was ready to be prepared for how bad of an experience it's going to be. And honestly, let me had a good time. I managed to beat this game in one day, which could say a lot, but I don't care. I do like this game better than Secret Rings, and probably more than Heroes. So yeah, C. Now this is where things get good. Sonic Unleashed. Easily S tier, on top of everything. This was my first ever Sonic game I've ever played, and it left an impact on me. I really liked Sonic stages a lot. Even when I was a dumb 5-year-old kid that didn't know what I was doing, and didn't know why Sonic turned into a werewolf at the end, it just confused me. But after finally getting the game for myself one day, the Wii version specifically, and then about a year later I got the PS3 version of it, I had a blast playing this one. I will say though, the Werehog stages are definitely not my favorite. They do drag on a bit, but the combo system is kind of fun though. I do like the combat. The daytime stages are definitely the better ones here. You just try to go super fast and pull through shortcuts to finish the stage in the quickest time possible. I really do like the story here too. I think it's the greatest story of all time. Like, personally, I do think it's the greatest one. The only problem I have with it is the moon and sun medals. I feel like they're completely unnecessary to collect. It's not like it makes it any better because the 360 and PS3 versions are pretty much forcing you to collect these medals to even progress through the story. Whereas the Wii version, they're just there. They have no use for it at all, except finding some doors that you can't go through before, and even then, they just give you an extra life, and that's it. Now, honestly, I could have liked it if they just didn't include the medals in the game, or just have it worked in a way that the Wii version worked. I would honestly be okay with that. But other than that, I really like Sonic Unleashed, and it always holds a place in my heart. Not much more than Sonic Generations, though. This is easily overlapping Sonic Unleashed. I love Sonic Generations. When I stream on Twitch, I always play that game from beginning to end almost every year. Like, I love this game a lot. And now we got Sonic Generations, X Shadow Generations. I do like this one a lot better than the original package. Shadow Generations is a great inclusion, but I always love Sonic Generations, and I'll always keep playing it until the day I die. Here's one I forgot to mention. Sonic Colors. This is honestly between Sonic Rush and Rush Adventure. I do like Sonic Colors. I do think it's a great comeback to what Sonic games were supposed to be. And it did well critically. It's just that I don't like the story. The story is not the greatest thing in the world. As to traditionally, as we know, to As Sonic games trying to take a more serious tone at moments, this one decides to go for a more Saturday morning cartoon comedic tone, which I don't think is a bad thing. It definitely delivers well, and Roger Craig Smith does a great job doing it. It's just not that funny. There's just some moments in the cutscenes where it just felt weird. Like Sonic breaks the fourth law in this one, and the joke about Baldy McNose hair was definitely a weird joke, and I don't find it personally funny. And the gameplay, while I do like the gameplay, it has too many 2D segments that just goes on and makes it kind of slow. But I do like the game for what it is. Keyword, the Wii version. I don't like the Ultimate Edition. Well, the Ultimate is okay. It doesn't look any better than the Wii version did. And it's funny too, because they make it look worse intentionally by showing us this freaking garbage looking footage of the Wii version. Like, it doesn't look that bad. It's like, it definitely looks better than that. But I do like Sonic Colors, so it'll be an A. Now, this one's gonna be a little bit more interesting. We got Sonic Lost World. Now, I'm mixed between this one because I was there when the game was new at the time, and I do like it. There are some problems here. I'll just put it at low B. I'll put it at low B tier. I do like the gameplay. It actually takes a different approach than what normal Sonic games usually do, introducing the parkour system and kind of making this game look like a Mario Galaxy clone more than anything. My problem here, though, is the story. It's actually way worse than Sonic Colors, whereas Sonic is a constant douchebag in the entire game.
Move it or lose it, Snow Cone.
The last time we met, you ruined my nail art. Now I have to reapply a whole new coat.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? I am so sorry.
Oh, well, in that case...
Oh no, what I meant to say is, I'm so sorry that you have nothing more important to do in life.
And in moments where Sonic actually shows sympathy and actually feels bad at moments, just doesn't stick for long. It's just there for a moment, and he just goes back to being a comedic douchebag in all his freaking cutscenes. And the Deadly Six are the weakest part of this game. I don't like any of them. They're not that great. I would say my favorite one here is the fat guy because of how just dumb he is. But other than that, nothing really sticks out. Well, the gameplay I do like and do find it enjoyable. I just don't like the story. But I will defend the fact that this is a good game. It's not great, but it's not anywhere as bad as people portrayed it to be. So it'll be in B tier. Alright, we got Sonic Mania. This is easily right next to Sonic 2. I love Sonic Mania. This was my first Sonic game I got when I got my Nintendo Switch, and I played this one for hours. I loved Sonic Mania. I even got the Plus expansion to play with Ray and Mighty, and yeah, there's not much I can say about it. As we all know, this is a great game. It will definitely stay in S. Alright, here's an interesting one. Sonic Forces. What do you expect me to say? This is not the greatest game that's ever made, but honestly, looking back at it now, it's okay. It's just boring and all that stuff. And you know what? It'll be above Shadow the Hedgehog. The gameplay is just boring, and the stages are incredibly short. And also the fact that they were trying to cross paths with Mania to Sonic Forces by showing us that class of Sonic in that game is in Forces. For literally no other reason but for fanfare, in my opinion. And the story, my god, this is awful. They try to take a serious tone like they did with previous Sonic games, but it doesn't work here. Some of the lines are just extremely cheesy and serve no purpose in it whatsoever. While I do admit, I do like the avatar creation tool in this one, where you can change outfits and all that stuff and use different Wisp abilities. this is the third game that uses Wisp, and I'm quite tired of it. Other than that, it's a very short experience. I finished this game in one day when I first got it on my Nintendo Switch, and it took me 2 hours. So yeah, this definitely belongs in D tier. Now we got Sonic Frontiers. This goes in between Generations and Unleashed. I love Frontiers, but let me address some of the issues here before I get to the positives. For one, the pop-ups are really bad. Honestly, they're even worse on the Nintendo Switch version, but that's to be expected in this day. And the cyber stages, for some reason, Sonic's controls become even more stiff than were before. And it's weird because in the open world, or technically open zone part, Sonic controls great in this one. Other than that, I really do like Sonic Frontiers. I like exploring the zones here, as they can be really fun at times. And collecting the medallions sometimes, well, they can be somewhat repetitive. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. And also, the story is one of the best in here. I really do like the story. They take it more seriously, but not in a way that Sonic Forces tried to do. I really do think they landed on this one better than they did with Forces. And I'm honestly glad that this turned out to be a great game, because I was very worried from the start. But I was proven wrong. And thankfully, it's great. So it's on S tier for sure. Alright, and that's the complete tier list. This is going to be controversial to some people, but I don't really care. This was fun. I like a lot of Sonic games. Well, there are some bad ones here and there. The good ones definitely outweigh the bad ones. And hopefully with the next mainline Sonic game, I'll be playing that. Hopefully they be consistent with these good titles so far. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.